At Home with Lucas here. So today we're going to be talking about Amazon's Echo Hub. Yes, people, I finally got my hands on their futuristic space-age smart control panel for my smart house to turn my smart house into the next generation of what we need in our house. Or maybe it's something we don't need at all and it's going to end up like the Amazon Fire 3D phone from years past. So in this video, we're doing a hands-on with the box, quick unboxing and first impressions on said Echo Hub. After that, I'm going to be putting this bad boy to the At Home with Lucas test to figure out, do you need another Echo? Do you need to have more than 10 Echoes like I do in your house? And do you really need one strapped to your wall so you can walk up to it and control your house from just a tap? I don't know, maybe. We're gonna figure out all that and more so you don't have to waste your time buying and returning. All right, let's go ahead and hub into it. All right, let's take a look at this bad boy right quick. So this is the Echo Hub. There is an image of what's to come in the box. Of course, it runs that lady right there. Take a look at the side over here. Take a look at the back. Basically just looks like an Echo floating on the wall. If you can hide that, it's really gonna look like an Echo floating on the wall. This is of course all the stuff that it does at a snapshot. It does way more than that. Take a look at this side right here. All right, let's get inside this box, people. So just like all of Amazon's boxes, they do a phenomenal job of giving you an easy pull. And that is all you need. You open it up just like this. That is a very thick, slightly heavy tablet right there. That's basically my first impression. Let's take a look at everything else that's in the box. Most of it is not important. You got the hello, hola, bonjour. This is the Echo Hub. They of course give you some hardware to mount this on the wall. So you're gonna get two wall anchors and two screws inside of here. And this is metal right here. So this is how it mounts on the wall. Very interesting, okay. All right, definitely gonna read all the instructions. I like how it looks like it's gonna be able to sit in here and then be pulled out. All right, let's take a look at the creme de la creme, people. Woo! Woo! There you go, people. Okay, so it looks like there's 3 microphone ports right on the front. Very interesting, and it looks like, yes, this glass is basically floating on top of this Echo right here. That is very interesting. It doesn't feel like normal glass. It has a slightly denser feel to it, and there's definitely something about it that's not a traditional tablet screen. So that is very interesting. Okay, and there's the back of it right there. It looks like you're supposed to wrap all the cord if you want and put them into here. This is very interesting. This definitely looks like a first gen product. It looks like they know what they want, but they don't know exactly what they want. Okay, let's continue around. You have the Amazon logo right there, looking really sleek. It looks like there's a microphone port back here or a reset button. Take a look at the side over here. More reminiscent of a tablet than an Echo, but there's your kill mic button right here, your volume up, volume down. Very mushy. I don't think they think you're going to be using these buttons at all. I think if you put this on the wall, you're probably not going to touch it. Take a look at the bottom. There's a slot for your cord to lock in. Take a look at the side over here, completely empty. And then on the top, you have dual stereo speakers. That is awesome. Very cool. We'll be testing those, of course. If you do mount this on the wall, then the speakers firing straight up should give you some pretty good sound quality and pretty good coverage of the room because it'll bounce off the wall. On the front here, okay, on the front here, it literally looks like they're covering up the camera. That is very, very strange. I don't know what is going on there. That looks like you're supposed to be able to take that off, but I cannot. I don't know how that comes off. Looks like there's a light sensor in there as well. Okay, so first impressions, this is a heavier tablet with a really dense screen. It's definitely a simple build. This thing is very, very simply put together. Of course, we won't know anything until we get this on the wall, hopefully, and get a review in. Okay, I'm taking a slightly different approach. I put some double-sided stickies right on here on all 4 corners, and I put a level in the middle and leveled it and pushed it up against the wall. Pretty sure this is gonna hold. This tablet is not very heavy. One thing you need to do is walk around your house and find where is a plug outlet. My plug outlet is actually right around the corner over here. So I plugged it in there. It reaches all the way around to here, and the cord will just come down here and run around that way. But I'm gonna let this sit for a minute so it gets nice and secure. They say to hold down for a couple minutes if you can to make it locked into place. And of course, if I like this spot and it's something that I want to use, I'm gonna put screws in it and lock it into place. But next up, we're gonna put it on. All right, and there we go. It is fully on the wall with just some stickies. That is absolutely amazing. The cord comes down here like I was talking about earlier, but there we go. That is very flush to the wall. I like that a lot. That is really cool. Definitely happy with that install. Let's go and walk through the user interface real quick. So the first thing that you're gonna notice right away is that this thing can be choppy and laggy at times, like everyone else is saying online. One fix for that is to just simply unplug it and plug it back in. Oftentimes when you get an update, you're gonna get a little bit of bugs with the update, but this thing being so new and first gen, it definitely has more bugs than I would personally like. I think it's just a little bit off, and I think with some software updates, this thing could get a lot better. One thing that's really annoying is these cards you swipe over, but if you're trying to move through the user interface, you can see right there I just got stuck, and I'm trying to get to the end, and the cards that you can swipe on will completely stop you up as you're swiping over. So that is a definite oversight on their end, and they could fix that very easily. So there you go. Once again, I'm just trying to swipe through the cards. Once you get down to the widget section, you can add more widgets. Sometimes this will load really sluggishly and slow. Other times it will load very fast. So definitely take note of that. Sometimes there are problems. This is where you can get all your widgets onto your main homepage. You just hit the plus in the top right corner. Oh, I've hit maximum. Okay, so that's funny. And it completely pushed me out of the widgets. Let's go back in. So this is how you can add widgets to your homepage. You just hit the plus in the top right corner. You can only add a certain amount, and then it'll tell you can't add any more. You can go into all categories. You can go into music and audio. You can go into smart home, and then you can look at what's new. There is no ability to search, which I think is a little bit of an oversight. They could definitely add that in the future. Through here, you can control all the things in your house. The controlling of devices in the house is very fast. I found it to be absolutely amazing. I was totally blown away by that. So that aspect of the user interface is very, very good. You can click on your cameras, jump straight into your cameras very quickly. So there are some bugs and glitches, but other things work phenomenally. And then there's some redundancy. So over here, you can select your room in which you want to control, or you can come down here and basically find the same exact things, just in a more jumbled way. So there's a little bit of a redundancy, and then there's no way to get back to the home except for tapping on this top home button here. And if you're swiping through the user interface, and there you go, it just completely had to restart. Okay. That is bizarre. That's happened to me twice now. Very strange. So one thing that's also weird is now I cannot get back to the main page or the main part of this without having to swipe all the way through, which is not that big of a deal, but it is a little bit annoying. This, I think, should follow you, and these cards should fall into that, like underneath it. And that way you can get to the end there. You do have notifications up in the top right corner. You can tap on those. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't work. I don't know why, but sometimes it doesn't work. The fact that I'm clicking on that and it's not working means this is probably not gonna work. Yes, that has been glitched for a while. I don't know why. Some of them you click on, they go really quickly. You can, of course, play music really fast. So you saw how fast that was. So the ability to play music is very fast. The user interface for this is phenomenal. You could turn up the volume right here. That is 5 out of 5 stars for me personally. There is a drop-down menu at the top. This is basically just like the Echo. devices that we know. Everything down here is all new. So this is all the hub user interface, brand new look and feel. You do have some widgets on regular Echoes, and if you buy the giant Echo 15, you're probably going to get these widgets as well. I don't own one myself. Now, one other thing that gets very choppy is when you try to edit this homepage. So you just saw it pulled me to the front here. If I'm just going to try to move this around, you can see it's very choppy and very sluggish, and it does not really want to perform well. This can all be fixed by optimizing the processor inside of here and doing some software updates, which they really need to do really bad. This is called rearrange. You can hit something called configure. And as you can see, only some of these can be configured by the gear icon. So this one cannot be configured, this one can. If I click on it, I can start to configure it and change what's actually on there. You can of course go into routines, you can go into all different rooms and groups, and then you can change things around by just touching and then sliding down. Very sluggish, very slow, and then you have to hit that to get out. So first impressions on the hub itself, on the user interface, it's a little bit sluggish, but I am invested in this device and I believe in this device, and I know they're gonna update the software, it's gonna get better. So definitely take note that when you buy this thing, you're buying a first gen, it's gonna get software updates, it's gonna make it better. But as of right now, it is a little bit on the frustrating side because some things work super fast and super smooth, and other things are absolutely crazy and they just do not work right. Another thing is they don't really have optimization for their widgets yet. So a lot of their widgets will just simply not be optimized. Like this one right here, so much wasted space on the screen. I don't have the ability to control my fan. I don't have the ability to do anything other than just this right here. And if I tap on this, it'll go into here, which gives me just a bigger version of what I've already seen on the previous page, and there's no other way to customize. So I feel like they could optimize these widgets a little bit more to give you more of what you actually want. But yeah, there's the user interface at a snapshot. Okay, now we're gonna be doing the microphone test. If you have an Echo nearby, go ahead and mute it. I'm gonna be saying the command word, so your Echo may go off. If you see a red line across the bottom of your screen, that means you have muted it. If you have a regular Echo, you should see a red light appear on top. That means you've muted the microphones. So I'm literally just gonna stand literally a few feet from this Echo right now, and I'm gonna start to give it the command, and we'll see how well it picks up my voice. Alexa, current humidity. Absolutely nothing. You guys heard me say that. That thing didn't. Alexa, current humidity. Nothing. It can't. It heard my daughter in the background. Also, the kitchen Echo just went off. Alexa, current humidity. Alexa, current humidity. Kitchen.
Right now, the humidity is 54%. By the way, I am trying to respond from the right place. Was this the device you expected?
Yes. Yes, it was.
Great. Thank you.
Okay. So, literally, this thing is supposed to hear whispers, respond in a whisper voice. I was technically just a little bit above a whisper, and it could not hear my voice. So these microphones are so aggravating, and there's times where I feel like I'm talking to myself. Like I'll literally say the command and nothing will happen. These are also listening for who's asking the question. So that could be slowing it down, that could be causing problems. So it'll hear my voice, it'll know that I asked the question, and that will help it figure out what to show you. If my wife asks a question, it will then be able to go into her profile, and it'll then use a little bit of a different response for her. So if she asks like where her package is, it should hear her voice, switch to her profile, and then tell her, oh, your package is coming tomorrow. Whereas if I ask, it may say your package is coming today because I ordered something. She has a separate profile. So these microphones are beyond aggravating, and I feel like I feel like I have a true love-hate relationship with these microphones. There's literally 3 right here. I'm talking directly at it. It doesn't hear my voice. My kitchen Echo, you could see the light go off, so it was listening. I have literally probably 20 microphones in my house, and
I'll have to say the command word at least twice in some circumstances just to get it to respond. So very, very aggravating. I wish that they would figure out a way to fix that, make it just a little bit better. I could go through a lot of different scenarios where I have rain noise or I have other sounds. The microphones oddly do a good job of blocking out noise, believe it or not. So these are noise canceling microphones. So they're gonna cancel out standard noise, except for the kitchen sink. So this is not near the kitchen sink, so I'm okay. But the one in the kitchen that I have, literally, I will turn on the kitchen sink. It will not be able to hear me. Yeah, so microphones, I'm gonna give them a 3 out of 5 stars. Not the best, wish they were better. These still do not perform as I would expect.
One thing that's really great about this is you have your ability to have a baby cam. That's my Wyze Cam at a glance as high as your eye level, so that is great. If my boy starts crying, I'll hear him through the speakers, so that's really cool. So because this thing looks so much like a tablet that you've just basically stuck on the wall, this is the first device where I'm truly saying there needs to be no bezels. I think if this was all screen, from a distance, it would look like something from the future, but right now, it just literally looks like you took a tablet and you stuck it onto your wall, for good or for bad. I mean, it doesn't look terrible. I'm not gonna say that it's a bad thing, but when the screen goes blank and there's nothing on there, it just looks like an ugly tablet that you've stuck on your wall. So this thing is 100% has to have the display on at all times, otherwise it looks terrible. Like, it looks really weird. And even right now with something very familiar like this, it looks like a tablet just stuck to your wall. It's not until you get back to the hub homepage that you're a little bit more like, okay, this is cool, but yeah, it's a tablet.
Okay, now we're going to be doing the speaker test. So I'm just going to put my microphone right up here where the 2 speakers fire out. Before we start this test, I have to say that I am impressed with the speakers on here. They definitely do a good job of filling up the room. I do have something right above the speaker on this side here, which kind of bounces the sound down and to the right, which is kind of cool. I kind of like that. There's nothing on this side up here. But yeah, so let's go ahead and play some of my videos, and that way we can test out these speakers. Hello, and welcome to At Home with Lucas. All right, let's take a look at these bad buds. So there is an image of what's Okay, I've been using this bad boy for long enough that I think I have a full comprehensive review, and let's just start off with the build quality. So I absolutely love the screen. The screen on here is very bright and vibrant. The build quality is really solid. It definitely sits on the wall. When you go to tap it, there is no creak or it doesn't push in. It doesn't feel cheap. It feels really, really quality in my experience. So the display is really good. The viewing angles are great. You can view this thing from multiple different angles. It doesn't wash out. It doesn't look bad. So that's awesome. The look of it, like I said earlier, I wish the bezels were a lot smaller. I think that if this was all screen on your wall, it would look absolutely amazing. But that's just me picking nits. The microphones are standard Echo microphones. They pick up your voice sometimes, and then they just literally don't hear you other times. Okay, so build quality solid. Microphones are standard Echo microphones, not the best, not the worst. It is weird there is no camera up here. I don't understand how there's no camera when you have the ability to drop in to screen devices around your house. That have cameras and want to do a camera-to-camera communication, yet this thing doesn't have a camera. So very strange. They say there's a extra sensor in there. That's why there is no camera. The user interface, if it does get a little buggy on you, you can unplug it and plug it back in, and it will fix itself a little bit, but it'll still sometimes go back to being very choppy and strange. Sometimes you'll press on something and nothing will happen. Other times it'll just take forever to respond, and sometimes it'll respond very fast like it is right now. So it is sometimes a little bit picky. And like I talked about earlier, these cards are really strange. I will always call them cards because they look like cards. They don't look like widgets to me. They're very strange in the way that you'll get stuck sometimes thinking, oh, I'm trying to get to the end, and you're swiping through here. So again, that's just me picking nits. I think this whole entire user interface could use an overhaul. I think that they still don't fully understand what this thing is just yet. And when the very first Echoes came out, they didn't really know what they were doing. They have integrated and updated the Echo shows to no end, and they're at their peak right now. I think the Echo shows are great. I think this thing is gonna find its footing. I think it's gonna work. Let's talk about who this is for. So I truly believe if you're just getting into a smart home and you have no Echoes, you have no smart devices in your house, this is the one to buy and then build off of this. So this thing is gonna do so much. It really can replace a lot of switches and plugs and work, because you can literally just go through and turn everything on and off right here. So I think that this thing is a great start. I think it's going to get better. I think that people who already have a bunch of Echoes in their house, they may look at this thing and go, I don't need it. Me personally, to be able to walk up and basically almost look eye level to a screen is actually really fun and kind of exciting. So I sometimes will just find myself coming over here and just messing around with this bad boy and just checking out what's on it. I kind of wish there was more information on it. I kind of wish it had maybe like, you know, current events and stuff like that, but it doesn't have anything news oriented. So I actually went to the widgets and clicked on news, and as far as I could find, there wasn't anything. But I'm gonna give it a high star rating. I'm gonna give it a 4.8 star rating, just because I know the potential of this device. I know it's gonna get better. And the fact that you can literally just take it off your wall if you need to is absolutely amazing. Once again, my stickies are doing a phenomenal job. So if you're like me, you don't like to put a lot of holes in your wall, and maybe you don't know that you want this where you're thinking you want it, do the sticky thing like I did. It's gonna work and you're gonna be very impressed, and you may just leave it like that. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a high star rating, and I'm gonna say that I cannot wait for the software updates to come out. I know a lot of people are being aggressive against this thing, but I think it's great. Another thing is you need to just basically walk around your house, find where your plug is gonna go, and just start holding it there, and maybe have, you know, a roommate or your partner tell you, yeah, that looks good, or no, that looks terrible. That's what my wife did. She basically was like, nope, don't put it over there, because I was gonna put another location. So definitely know that like this thing is gonna be high star rating. If you're new to smart home devices, this is the one to buy. Highly recommended to everyone out there that knows what this thing is. All right, there you go. That's the Echo Hub. Hopefully this video helped you out in your purchasing. Hopefully this video did what you needed it to do. If it did, definitely hit that like button. And if you want to join the Adam Lucas family, smash that subscribe button. Every time I get a subscriber, I get a boost to make more and more videos. And it's because of you guys, I'm still here. Yes, on my way to 10K, but I need your help. Yes, you right there. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell everybody, your pets, your neighbors. This guy's on YouTube. They should go subscribe and watch my channel. But as always, I thank you for watching each and every one of my videos, and I'll catch you in the next one. Sound in the background courtesy of my boy right there. Bye-bye.